Hytale's Adventure Mode allows the player to gradually explore the 4 main zones in any way that the player wishes. Each zone is vastly different and no playthrough will ever be the same. In the zones, there will be different biomes that enhance exploration and provide jaw-dropping experiences. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at all of the biomes that are confirmed to be in the 4 main zones of Hytale. If you want to see more Hytale content like this, then go hit that subscribe button. It'll mean a lot to me. The goal is to reach 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I couldn't do it without you guys. Stats show that 80% of y'all are not subscribed, so if you want to hit that button, it's completely free, and if you don't like my content, you can easily unsubscribe later. And with all that being said, everybody, my name is CanadianFlash, and enjoy the video. Hey everybody, what is going on? CanadianFlash here, guys, and today, buddy, we're talking about biomes in Hytale. And before this starts, I want to say that the biomes and zones are completely different things. To clarify, zones are the big land masses in Hytale, like there's zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And biomes are like small little areas in those zones that like differentiate how the player can like traverse and how like you will adventure and go through the zones. So I just want to clarify that right now for you guys. So we're going to start into this video and take a look at the biomes in Zone 1. And Zone 1, the entire zone is called the Emerald Grove, and there actually are quite a few biomes that I have found looking through screenshots in just some of the Hytale screenshots that I have. So in Zone 1 we have a few biomes, and the first one that I found is just the regular forest biome, and this is the one that you'll probably just spawn in most likely. It's pretty much the same as like, you know, a Minecraft forest biome, like the birch and like the oak biomes, how they just like are together. The forest biomes are actually really pretty and super cool, and they're just very basic. You can get your basic flowers, maybe some seeds and all that, so I don't want to spend too much time talking about this very basic biome. And also in Zone 1, another basic biome is going to be the plains, and we see a couple screenshots of like a plains biome, how there's just no trees pretty much in an area. It's just like grass, pretty much. That's usually what it is. So plains, super cool biome, but really maybe there'll be a few prefabs in there along with the forest biome, but other than that, not really too much else to be in that biome. Another really cool biome is the autumn forest, and we're not sure if this biome will only come out during like near winter time or something. It's not really confirmed yet, but the autumn forest is a very beautiful biome with a bunch of different coloring trees and everything. How, like, you know, how it's kind of like how before when the trees drop their leaves, they turn to like an orange, reddish, yellow color, and then they just like drop all their leaves before like winter time. And they have a biome like this in Hytale, and it is absolutely gorgeous, and I cannot wait to take a look at that in the game. There was also some prefabs that we've seen in the autumn forest biome, so that's super cool. Can't wait to look at those. The next biome is going to be the swamp biome, and this is another really cool biome. There's a cool couple mobs that we can see in there, kind of like the fen stalkers, maybe the frogs, and a bunch of other guys like that. We have actually a couple of videos of what the swamps could look like, so obviously they'll be on the screen, but like the swamp biome, super cool biome. Can't wait to explore it in Hytale once again. The next super cool biome in Zone 1 is going to be the Twilight Forest, and this one is gorgeous, man, might I tell you. Like, it is super beautiful, and I'm not sure if this only comes out at nighttime and goes away during the day. It's not really confirmed yet, but I have a theory about that actually happening. Like, at nighttime all the trees turn like a bluish color. But if this is just its own biome itself, and you can see the different color like blue trees during the day, then that'll be fantastic to look at. Definitely I would go there during the night, because it's all like bioluminescent and stuff, and it glows. But either way, it'll be super cool to see that in the game. The next biome is the Corrupted Forest, and we're not really sure that this is Zone 1, but it's kind of like the images of where the Mosshorns are, and I believe that the Mosshorns are like a swampy Zone 1 type of mob, but the swamps that the Mosshorns live in look a lot different than the swamps that like the Fen Stalkers live in, and I think it's kind of like a corrupted Zone 1 biome, and maybe it's obviously I said it's corrupted, so maybe you have to stop the corruption in that biome, you know, save the Mosshorns, which I wouldn't do, but, you know, maybe you have to save them, so that's another cool one. Another biome that we can possibly see in Zone 1 is like a large tree or like a deep forest biome. It's kind of maybe like a roofed forest, kind of like how we have the dark oak trees in Minecraft. Like, if you look up, it's just leaves pretty much, and it's very thick and dense, and maybe a lot of mobs will spawn in there because it's really dark and everything. So I think that'll be a really cool biome. We see a lot of really massive trees that don't look to be in like Zone 3, just they kind of look like they're in Zone 1, so I think that's another really cool biome. And then I have two like honorable mentions, kind of like a transition biome between some of the biomes. I'm not sure if they'll name that as its own biome, but I think that'll be one. And then also a Quebec village. It's not confirmed that it's its own little separate area, but there's a whole, like, Quebec villages are massive, So I wouldn't be surprised if they just name an entire biome after the Creek villages, but then they're also a prefab, so it's kind of hard to like throw it into the biome territory. Next, we're going to move on into Zone 2, and the Zone 2 is the Howling Sands. It is the desert zone, so we'll take a look at some of them. So the first biome that we can see in the desert zone is just like the regular desert, and there's just like nothing there. It's just like cactuses and sand pretty much, and maybe a couple prefabs here and there. There's no like water or anything. It's just a plain straight out desert. And the next biome also like goes into the desert and is like a plains biome in the desert, and it's just kind of like a flat land, maybe a few hills with nothing, just also part of the desert. The next one is like the sandy hills, and I feel like this is going to be a pretty common one in Hytale because we see a lot of hills in Zone 2, so I think this will be a really common one. The one after that, we have seen quite a few screenshots about this one, and this is the Oasis biome, and this biome is like the lush, thriving environment that is in Zone 2, pretty much where the water is, so actually plant life can live there and, you know, actually get the nutrients for them to survive. So the Oasis biome is beautiful, and we can see quite a few mobs in the Oasis biome, like the flamingos. We've seen a couple Pharons in the Oasis biome, so those guys, I guess they like their water there, so that's cool. The next biome I believe to be in the desert is the deep desert, but this can also just go with like the regular sandy desert. I'm not really too sure, but the deep desert seems to be the one with all the different sandstorms, and it's probably going to be like the hardest type of environment to live at in Zone 2 because, as I said before, there's going to be sandstones. It'll be super dry. There might be a lot of like mobs that are going to attack you. Maybe that's where the Scarix will live or something. We're not really too sure, but definitely don't want to go into the deep desert for too long without water. And the last biome we have in Zone 2 is the Savanna biome, and this is kind of where you can see like the antelope and like the and a bunch of other mobs kind of living. It's not like the most lush environments like the Oasis biome, but then it's also not the most dead, kind of like just the regular deserts. There are trees that live in this area. There's a couple grass and everything that the animals can eat and hunt and pretty much and just go around living their daily lives. And once again, there is another honorable mention, and it is the Scarix Nest / dead area. It's kind of hard to say if they're together because we see a Scarix Nest in the middle of this dead area, so I think that could be its own biome, but then it also can be like the prefab of the Scarix Nest, so it's kind of hard to tell. And now we're going to move on to Zone 3, and Zone 3 is formerly known as Borea, and if you don't know, Zone 3 is like the snowy biome, which is the best one in Hytale, obviously. In Zone 3, we have the regular Zone 3 forest as its own biome. I'm sure everybody's going to be traversing through this. It's super cool and beautiful, and, you know, Zone 3 trees remind me of Canada, so I like that. Another biome in Zone 3 is kind of like the tall trees biome. It's like the regular forest biome, except there's a lot of really, really tall trees, so I cannot wait to explore that. It'll look super cool. Once again, reminds me of Canada. Really awesome. Another biome we can see in Zone 3 is the Snowy Forest, which I really like. It looks super cool. Definitely cannot wait to build a house in there. So that'll be extremely exciting, and you'll probably see a couple mobs in there, like maybe wolves and all that. So you can also see those mobs in probably the other two biomes I said in Zone 3, but you can see these mobs all around. It'll be super cool to take a look at them. Not really sure if this is a biome or not, but it's kind of like the cliff slides. The cliffside / ocean front. We see an image of this, and it looks a lot different than like all these tree biomes. So maybe it's its own separate biome. It's kind of just all hills. So maybe it's like its own mountainscape or something like that, like the Rockies. Maybe it's its own rocky biome. Who knows? Or like extreme hills, kind of like how Minecraft has it. So maybe that can be its own biome. It's kind of hard to tell. No confirmation on it, but yet again, we have no confirmation on any of these. I'm just speculating, but still super cool. Cannot wait to see if that's its own biome. Definitely, I would love to build a cliffside house in Hytale. That would be something. Another beautiful biome we have in Zone 3 is the Corrupted Forest, and this is different from the Ghost Forest, which I'll get onto a little bit later. But the Corrupted Forest seems to be around where the Outlanders live, so maybe the corruption's spewing out from whatever the spells the Outlanders are doing, and it's corrupting the forest around it, making its own biome. But then again, it can also be it can be classified as a prefab because it's near an Outlander camp, so we're not really too sure. Another biome in Zone 3 is the Snowy Tundra, or the Snowy Plains, or whatever it's called. And it's kind of like in the trailer where you see that guy riding the ram about to fight the Yeti. It's this area where there's like not much trees. It's just all snow, maybe some caves or something, maybe a few mobs. And it's just like you can run around, maybe build a house on there. It's probably a good place to live, maybe, if depending on the mob spawning rate, but I think it'll be a really cool biome to live in. And the last biome we have in Zone 3, but it's not confirmed to be in Zone 3, I just believe it to be in Zone 3, and it is the Ghost Forest. This could also be in Zone 4, but I really believe it's in Zone 3, you know, right near an Outlander camp, maybe. Something bad probably really happened in this zone, maybe the corruption just completely blew the thing up, and now there's nothing living in there, maybe besides like that ghost dog or those ghost fish, so it'll be really cool to see the lore in this biome. I definitely would love, I don't know if you can build a house in there, I probably wouldn't, to be fair, but maybe other people would. So the Ghost Forest is a super, super cool biome, which I really believe is going to be in Zone 3. And now we're moving on to the last zone, and this is Zone 4, or formerly known as the Devastated Lands. And I only know of 4 biomes that can be in this zone, and the first one is the Scorched Ruins, and I believe this is its own biome itself, and it also comes with its own prefabs. So the Scorched Ruins we see is just an abandoned town pretty much, but the fire's still lit, so it leads me to believe that there is something in this town. And I did make a video speculating on what happened to the Scorched Ruins. If you want to go check it out, there'll be a card on the top of the screen right now. But the Scorched Ruins, there seems to be a lot of lore there, and I really, really want to discover it. The next biome that we can see in Zone 4 is the Tropical Jungle, and this one is absolutely stunning. And there's a lot of things that are in the Tropical Jungle. Can't say that together. Tropical Jungle. There's a lot of things that are in the Tropical Jungle, kind of like it's like the Forgotten Jungle. There's a bunch of different type of biomes that are all around it. There's 4 layers, so I believe all 4 of those layers are its own biome. So I definitely cannot wait to explore those. That'll be really cool. We have like the Tropical Jungle, then there's also the Devastated Caves, and then there's 2 biomes, there's 2 layers under that, and then there's a bottom layer, which is the Forgotten Jungle. So I believe all of those are going to be different. And there is one more biome that I believe to be in Zone 4, and it's kind of just like the Devastated Lands area, or just whatever the Zone 4 is called. The Zone 4 is called Devastated Lands, and I believe this biome to be is like the Devastated or Fiery Wasteland Lands, whatever. And it's kind of just lava and fire, and you can't live in there. It's uninhabitable. The only place to live in Zone 4 is the Tropical Jungle, where there's actually some like plant life, so you can actually survive, and there's water there. You can't drink lava. You could, but you'll probably die. But either way, these are all the biomes I believe to be in Hytale. So if you guys did enjoy and you want to see more Hytale content like this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. You know, I'm trying to get 2 videos a week for you guys up until January 18th when I go back to school. I know I got a whole month off. It's kind of crazy. So if you guys want to see more, hit that like button and subscribe. And thank you all so much for watching. The support lately has been awesome, and I don't know what to say. Like, thank you guys so much. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.